Colorism is the color prejudice that values and privileges light skin tone over dark skin tone and is a term mostly applied to people of color who discriminate against people of their own ethnic group. Since U.S. slavery days, African Americans with light or near white complexions and Eurocentric features have been privileged over those with darker skin. Originating from slavery and racial oppression, colorism can be traced back to days when slave masters had sex with their female slaves and fathered a light-skinned child. Despite racial, light-skinned children often were permitted to occupy the master's house and were accorded preferential treatment over their darker counterparts. In America, which has been considered a melting pot, all people of color have experienced colorism. Hispanic, Asian, Native, African Americans, and dark-skinned immigrants. However, historically it is most ingrained among African Americans where it is reflected in practically every level of the social order of African Americans' churches, schools, colleges, fraternities, sororities, families, communities, and job opportunities. On the other hand, colorism can go in both directions. Light-skinned African Americans sometimes also can experience bigotry and rejections by dark-skinned African Americans. Many are caught in the double bite of not being light enough or dark enough for various social circles. There are some beauty standards connected with the colorism. Bringing up the topic of intra-race skin tone prejudice embarrasses some African Americans, typically among older generations. Colorism can have very serious and even life-threatening impact for African American males when it interferes with criminal proceedings. Research has found that the bulk of local news coverage tends to frame stereotypes of African American males as dark and dangerous. Studies has found that African Americans with dark skin tones not only are depicted in more menacing images, but as well may be judged more harshly in court cases and tend to get more incarceration time than those with light skin texture. Skin bleaches and lighteners have experienced explosive sales, especially in many Asian countries. In this situation, we can see the colorism is globalizing. For example, according to cosmetic industry sources, just 3 countries, China, Taiwan, and Thailand spent a combined $1.4 billion in 2015 on skin whitening products.